What's up?
What's happening, y'all?
Welcome to Tuesday.
I feel like it's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
I don't know if we were in here last week. Oh, we were in here last
we
for your birthday.
were.
We came live. It was a surprise
It
pop
was
up.
impromptu, unbeknownst to me. So
It
yeah,
wasn't impromptu for me.
it was
I mean,
impromptu for me, not for you.
yeah. So what is happening, y'all? If this is your first time with us, this is who we are. Quick intro for you.
What's up? I'm OL Buckley.
And I am Sway Buckley.
That's right. We are Marriedpreneur strategists.
Yes, married entrepreneurs come to us to sync high level systems with laser clear strategy to build out powerful business legacies and to do that purposefully, powerfully, and profitably in sync. And so here's the thing, if this is your first time joining us, you may be thinking that married entrepreneurs, there's like one particular kind or type. And what we've learned over about the last, 10 plus ish years.
Absolutely, that there are three, not just one.
Three, not one, not two, but three different types of marriedpreneurs. And so you may find yourself in one or more of these areas. So let's just give them to you real quick and then we can go from there. We're really excited about sharing some good new stuff with you all today. So there are the spousalpreneurs, right? Spousalpreneurs is when one spouse is building the business and the other spouse is actually supporting the spouse who's building a business, right?
And then there is the indiepreneur. That's where both of you are building individual businesses.
Yes. And then there are the couplepreneur, marriedpreneur types. And that's where both spouses are working together in the same business and they're building that business. So it doesn't matter really what kind of marriedpreneur couple you are right now. Maybe you're in transition from one to the other. Maybe you've been one of the other ones and now you're a different one. Like us, we started off as spousalpreneurs when we first got married and then moved on to indie and couple, which is where we are now.
So you can be two of any of the three.
Absolutely. So we're just glad you're here. We're excited about today. And hey, everybody, I see you all on the different platforms. We're coming to you live from New Jersey. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. We'd love to meet and greet virtually right here. So drop us your city, your state, your country, represent right there in the comments. Okay, do that for us. Now, real quick. So today is our weekly live. We haven't given it a name.
No, we haven't, but we come in each Tuesday live, dropping jewels for married entrepreneurs.
Yes, that is definitely our calling and our passion right now in this season. What God has us doing. So here we are. And today we're really going to be talking about the 5 reasons that every marriedpreneur couple needs to have, should have, be working with a dream work week template. We're going to break it down for you really quickly. But a few things before we go there, we want to give you some housekeeping. For those of you who don't know, we host the Marriedpreneur Life podcast. And this last week, the latest episode is really around dealing with rest and overcoming stress as marriedpreneurs, because we know we have lots of balls in the air juggling and lots of hats to wear. And it's easy to put rest on the background, right? And not just physical rest, but also spiritual rest. It's very important as well. So if that's something that you're struggling with, dealing with, go ahead and take a listen on your favorite podcasting platform. We'll be going over practical, actionable steps you can actually put in place very quickly to see results pretty quickly. So there's that. Also, today is the first day of our countdown for our 13-year
anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
That's right.
Yes. So what we've decided to do is to go, we don't go live, but each day, but we have a marriedpreneur lesson that we've learned.
Yes.
And then we're sharing that each day. So we started 13
to be exact.
Yeah. So we started that today and we're doing a 13-day countdown. So we wanted to share that with you all because we know this journey can be a bit interesting and different, and not everyone gets it. And we get that as well. But there are juicy lessons to be learned over the years. And if we can share by sharing, if we could help other couples as you're building your business, building your marriage all at the same time, it is our joy to do so. So we'll be dropping a different lesson each day on our platforms, Instagram and Facebook Reels, so you all can take that goodness coming. And then we'll likely be talking about an upcoming podcast episode too. In addition, almost lastly, this upcoming Thursday, we have a major announcement to make. Major, something that we've never done before.
No.
And we're really, really excited about it. And we'll be sharing more on this Thursday. So stay tuned. If you are not on our email list, you can do so. You can head over to marriedpreneurlife.com. You'll get all the goods fast, like you'll be one of the first. So this Thursday, brand new, something that God has placed in our hearts to use as an amazing resource for other marriedpreneurs who are launching, growing, and scaling their businesses together. Okay, so stay tuned for that. I wish I could do a drum roll, but it's coming 2 days away. Okay, and lastly, we're speaking about Dream Work Week template today. And if you don't have one, we want to let you know that we've created and even are continuing to add some stuff into a Dream Work Week free training for you all. And so in case we forget to say this at the end, if you'd like for us to send you the link to get your free Dream Work Week template for married entrepreneurs, in the comments,
drop the word template.
Yep. Yes, you can drop the word template and we'll go ahead and get that over to you. If for whatever reason, I know on some platforms we're live now, we may not see it, you can send it to our DMs as well. So we'll make sure that our team gets that over to you all to help. So here's the thing about a Dream Work template. If you've never heard of one, if you've never used one, I'm glad you're here. We're glad you're here because you likely have been working in a way that is a bit more hard than necessary, or with you can have a lot more clarity. So here's the thing: a couple of ways to know that a Dream Work Week for marriedpreneurs will be super powerful tool and resource for you is this. If you're unclear about what to work on in your business each day, whether you're an indie preneur, a spousalpreneur, or a couplepreneur, if you're unclear about what and when to work on, what you need to work on a daily basis, day in and day out, as you're building your business, then you definitely want to have a Dream Work Week template.
Yeah. Or what if you're struggling, and many marriedpreneurs tend to, with how to best utilize your time, and you're being presented with so many different opportunities or things that are demanding of your time. You're not quite sure what to do, when to do it, should you do it, should you not do it?
Yeah.
Then you're definitely in the right place and you're needing a Dream Work Week template.
Now, let's talk about focus. Touch your neighbor, say focus. If you feel like you're not even sure where to focus and it's hard to be focused because you don't know, there's so many things to focus on and you're not sure which thing to focus on first or secondly or thirdly, then it's likely you can benefit from a Dream Work Week template.
That's right. And as business can be so consuming, it often competes with those priorities of ours, such as husband and wife having time together. So if you're struggling with even being able to prioritize the marriage because the business is so consuming, you're needing a Dream Work Week template.
Okay, here's one more for you, okay? Just in case you feel like you're off the hook. If you feel like you are not being as productive as you can, you feel like you're constantly running out of time, and you're not focusing on the revenue generating activities as a priority on a day-to-day basis for business, then it's likely that you can benefit from a Dream Work Week template. And today is your day because we're going to break it all down and answer questions. And we've created a free Dream Work Week template training for you, as we mentioned earlier. So just drop template. Is that what we said?
Drop template in the comments.
Template in the comments, and we'll get that over to you. Okay. So first up, here are the 5 reasons. There are more than 5, but we're just going to do 5 today because we're about to go have lunch and that's all the time we have. So first and foremost, when it comes to a Dream Work Week template, I would say this, a Dream Work Week template, as far as defining it, it's really a system of how you and your spouse are working together to accomplish a goal, and it's broken down for each day. So you'll know ideally where you want to be focusing your time. Now, the thing about a Dream Work Week template, as seasons change, oftentimes your Dream Work Week template will change as well too. So you have to be aware of that too. But the beautiful thing of having one is that you have it, and that's keeping you on the same page. I'm diving into the benefits, but I didn't mean to.
No, I appreciate you saying that because actually not having one will cause you to just spin around in circles and not achieve or accomplish those goals because you never really had an approach and a strategy to how you were going to achieve and accomplish those goals. So the template, while it's going to have to be subject to things that may come up,
Yeah.
The point is, to your point, is that you have one. And to
Absolutely.
not have one is not good. So it's
Yeah.
always best to have one so that you can guide or have a guide
For your
that
days.
keeps both of you accountable and on the same page.
And it's kind of like if you're building a business and you don't have a framework or actually knowing what you're focusing on each day. And so you're doing this type of like winging it situation, and winging it, it has its place when you're starting out and you're just like, well, we just going to do what we can do with what we have. Okay. But then there comes a time in a season when you have to say, okay, are we ready to grow? Are we ready to go to the next level? Because winging it is not going to take us to the next level. It's not going to take us where we desire to go next. It only could take us where we are right now. And so this is really the Dream Workweek template is really for those who are serious about no longer winging it, but having a more clear and precise daily structure and outline of how you desire to spend and invest your time. The gift of time, I like to call it, because that is the one thing that, we can't get back. So as marriedpreneurs, having a Dream Work Week in place is critical. And that doesn't mean we have the same one, right? But we do have our own Dream Work Week templates, and there are some things that are overlapping. So we're actually on pace and on the same page to do those things together. But, running different businesses, we're not going to have the same exact, even if you're running the same business, because you're in different roles in that business, you're not necessarily going to have the same exact Dream Work Week template as your spouse. Okay. So I think that's important to say that first and foremost. Okay. So let's go over the number one. The first benefit that we want to share with you concerning having a Dream Work Week template is clarity.
Yes.
Clarity. When you think about, because in order to even have one, you have to think about what you want it to look like, right? And there are different areas within the business that you will need to focus on based on what your role is, but also based on where you're going. It's not just about where you are right now, but it's about what the next level is. So you're not planning for now, you're planning for the future, and it helps you transition into that. So then you may say, well, what are the things that I need to focus on each day in order to get to that place of the Dream Work Week template, having it set out? Well, that actual structure helps you to do the things that you need to do when you need to do them, and doing the right things. Because how many of us know that we can be doing all the quote unquote things in the business and all the things that need to get done, but yet not fully like seeing the results of what we desire? Like that is a truth, that if you don't have a system in place, it will be a cycle. And so we want to help break that cycle. So the Dream Work Week template will actually absolutely give you that level of next level clarity.
Yes. And the second thing that a Dream Work Week template will include is boundaries.
Ooh.
Now, this is important because oftentimes as married entrepreneurs, getting caught up in the inertia of the whole build a business entrepreneurship world, we can tend to model ourselves after or be imposed upon us to think of ourselves as superheroes. But superheroes, even if you do think of it that way, they all had limitations and they all had boundaries. So there was always something that superhero would avoid, so they would stay right in their area of strength. And so having boundaries helps us to do this, because there's always going to be things that are going to be coming up, not just stuff that we'll be presented with, but even things that we will want to pursue that will seem noble and good, but they'll actually be detracting and distracting us from the thing that we're working on. So if we're going to get good at building business as married entrepreneurs and establishing that Dream Work Week, we're going to have boundaries, because boundaries keep us accountable to the goal. That's not to say that we don't pivot or we don't call an audible, to use a quarterback football term. But what that does mean is that we do have a game plan and parameters in which we're going to work. And these boundaries are going to help us to better discern, better know what to say no to. And no doesn't mean no, absolutely. It could mean no, not now.
Right now. Yeah, there's a difference. But just having that level of clarity offers support to be more disciplined. Having another level of clarity brings another level of discipline. So then you can know and be clear about what you're saying no to, because every no is actually a yes to something else, and vice versa. Okay, the next thing that a Dream Work Week template will do is definitely assist with the focus of doing that type of deep work in what you're truly called to do. Because as I mentioned earlier, we can be doing all the things and look up and not really see the results of doing all the things. Oftentimes that's because we're doing the wrong things, right? And that doesn't mean that those other things don't need to get done. I'm not saying that at all, because they absolutely do. But there's an order and there's a way, there's a system that has to be put in place. So we're not trying to do all the things. And then you're clear on this. So understanding where to put in place the precious focus. Focus is a type of energy that allows you to deliver, to execute, and to get the thing done. So if we're constantly focused on the things, the things on the outskirts of what we're truly called to do in the business, what will happen is once we get those things done and we get closer to the core of what we're really called to do in the business, the focus is gone because the energy is gone. There's a limited amount of focus that's given to us in each season, a limited amount of focus that's given to us each day. So it's really it behooves us to steward that focus well. Okay, so understanding that the purpose of a dream work week, what it does is it really gives you, as you mentioned earlier, those boundaries, but not just for saying the yes or the no to different opportunities internally and externally, but also gives you the discipline and the you know what do they call the things that you put when you go bowling and you don't know how to bowl? I guess they give it to kids.
Yes, like guardrails.
The guardrails.
For the ball.
Yeah, the guardrails that's what the little
gutter rails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So your ball doesn't go in the gutter. You keep your focus right where it needs to be, in the middle, going straight towards all the pins, like right in the middle, right wherever those pins are. So understanding the use of your focus is so important, and this is why we have to protect it. Well, the beautiful thing is that a dream work week template helps you to protect your focus. It clarifies and protects it.
That's right. And the fourth thing that a dream work week will do, because as we're building the business, it can be very easy and very tempting to say, yeah, the marriage is important and that we're prioritizing the marriage. But we can assume that because we're working together in the business, that means that we're actually nurturing the marriage. It's possible to have proximity in business, but really be distant in the marriage. And so having a dream work week template will help you establish, here's the fourth thing, connection with your spouse. So as you say that we're starting this business, but the marriage is important, the dream work week template helps keep you accountable and mindful that, hey, the marriage is most important, and that the business just orbits around the marriage and not the other way around. So when we prioritize one another, we will then reserve time for our marriage and for one another and our energy. And so therefore we're giving our spouse not merely what is left of the day, but we're giving and reserving, should I say, some of the best of us at a certain point in the day, so we can have that point of connection.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. I think it's important to say this again. If you're an indie spousal or couplepreneur, like, this is a truth, is a pillar of truth, regardless of what your marriedpreneur status or type is right now. If you're where one spouse is working the business and the other is supporting, or if both of you are building individual businesses, or if you're couplepreneurs, like, this truth remains the same. Okay, here's the last one for today. The fifth benefit of implementing a dream work week template as marriedpreneurs. So let's talk about productivity. Productivity is really the thing that often brings fulfillment when we close out each day. When we're able to say, you know what, I use my time wisely, and I was able, especially when it comes to business, to focus primarily on those revenue generating activities instead of primarily on the non-revenue generating activities, right? Well, there's a system that has to be put in place within your dream work week to understand how that looks. And that's going to look different for everyone, right? There are going to be some days where you're profitable, but the profitability is really in how wisely you use your time. And there are other days when you're profitable, but the profitability is really how wisely you grew the business as far as clientele and from a profit revenue standpoint. So you really just have to be clear on what season you're in and what does that profitability look like for you today. So then that's going to be reflected in your dream work week template. Okay, so this is this understanding that there are going to those times when you may feel like, man, I just wish I had more time. I keep running out of time. Well, this is the perfect time. That's the perfect time and a perfect sign to say, I need to put in place a dream work week template so I can see how I will be stewarding my time in the season that I'm in now, and then what it's going to look like once we
Mhm.
transition from this season. Because one season you may be in a 9 to 5 and you're wanting to transition. Well, your dream work week right now is going to look a lot different than when you're doing your business full time, or maybe you're full time now, but you're looking to do some other transitioning and growing and scaling. Well, it's going to look different when you get there too. Or maybe you're looking to draw back and add in more team members. Well, this is going to look different in there too. In order to get to the place of that dream work week template, living that out day in and day out requires that clarity. It requires, we like to have this saying, we keep it around our house, keep the vision visible. So whatever that vision is, making sure that you truly have it out each day. You're looking at it, you're using that as your guardrails, as your boundaries, right? As your focus for the day. So you're clear by the time you finish each day, you can truly feel that you've stewarded it well by God's grace, right? So once again, oh, no sound, really? Nobody else has sound either? Y'all on here? I'm sorry,
Can
I'm
you all
not even
hear
sure
us?
why that would be. Well, what we'll do is we're on a couple different platforms. Let me know if you can hear that now. We're on a
Can you
couple
hear us
different
now?
platforms, so we'll make sure we get this over to you as well. So sorry to hear. Does anybody else? Everybody else is in that same situation? Okay, so some people can say they can hear. Okay. We'll make sure this replay comes up. So as long as if the sound is on, then when the replay comes up, you should hear that sound too. So sorry that you're not hearing the sound. Sounds good on IG, she says. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Stacy. Appreciate that. So we're going to run and we'll make sure we go ahead and save this. If I mentioned earlier, if you don't have that Dream Work Week template, we've actually created a free Dream Work Week training specifically for married entrepreneurs, totally free. If you want us to send you that, just drop
the word template in the comment.
Yeah. Drop template. We'll get that over to you because we are closing out. We're coming to the end of this year, believe it or not. I mean, we're coming to the end of this quarter and then the end of the year. It's going to be here before we know it. So this is a perfect time to realign and to reassign your time and to up level the discipline. So as you end the year, you're ending it well and stewarding that time well. And you're stewarding the gift of the business, the gift of your marriage well, all of that together and all that entails, because there are lots of things that entails. Okay. So let me know. Okay, good. Okay, y'all are talking. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and log off. We'll make sure this replay comes back up. So just let us know if you all have any questions with that. This is a simple process to put in place, and it really does make a huge difference. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good one. Until next time.
Keep living
purposefully,
powerfully,
and profitably
in sync.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
God bless.